Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant news and some major updates ahead of the second week of the VCT Playoffs. OpTic testing positive, putting potentially their qualification for the Masters in jeopardy. And also Sentinels confirming they're looking for some further analysts to their team. And TenZ describing what their bootcamp might well look like very soon indeed. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Videos to the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Hit 20,000 subs yesterday. Really appreciate the support. We've been killing it as of lately. Massive milestone. So yeah, thanks to every single one of you watching right now. Let's crack on. Nerf chamber, please, says Net. No surprises there. People say this every single day at this point, to be honest. Now, this also on that side, because chamber kind of got an artificial buff, only because Sova apparently has been nerfed. So this seemingly happened in the recent patch updates, that the shock darts now no longer break Cypher trips, chamber trips, or Killjoy's molly. Now, I don't know whether this is intended, because I don't think it was actually in the patch update or in the notes or anything. I don't think this was actually said. So maybe this is intended as kind of a little bit of a Sova nerf, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't stated specifically. So Elgato was kind of wondering, like, am I just missing my shock darts, or is it actually like this a legitimate thing? So apparently this is a thing now that the shock darts don't break those kind of utility anymore. They used to be able to use them for, like, on occasion at least in certain specific situations. Now that's no longer the case, right? So kind of a Sova nerf, kind of a buff by proxy to the other ones, but you know, we'll see if anything develops on that front over the coming days. Of course, talking of the North American and other regions as well, we'll see here in a second. Stage 2 playoffs. I thought it was quite cool they're bringing Valin from the guard onto the broadcast as an analyst. I like it when they do this, right? Players that are either out of the tourney, because in this case they didn't even qualify for the playoffs. The guard, after that series they lost to the NRG. Valin is going to be there. I'm sure he's going to have some great insight from the kind of analytical perspective, because of course the guy GL for the guard done some great things so far this year. Of course, that didn't really work out for him, of course, during stage 2, but I thought it was cool that they do this, because obviously it happens in other sports. I like it when it happens more and more often in Valorant and esports as well. Now, I wanted to mention this, right, because we saw this yesterday, that NRG said that the team had a potential exposure, and therefore they were just going to effectively cut short their bootcamp and not play with each other anymore, and effectively send all their players home. So they minimize the risk of catching and being unwell for a very important game up against FaZe later on today. But as well, FNS said yesterday he's actually tested positive, right? So look, who knows how unwell the OpTic guys are going to feel, if they're going to get hit hard by this, or if they're not, because definitely affects different people very differently indeed. But as FNS says, like, you know, that is all. So we'll see how this goes for OpTic. But they play a massive series today, and if they are feeling under the weather, like that could affect them quite significantly, right? Because even as Crashy says, thank you for also giving it to me. So both Crashies, both FNS tested positive under the weather right now. Ye apparently also at risk as well, as he says, like, I might have caught it too. All good though. We'll do our best tomorrow. So that's the thing. Some players, I'm pretty sure when TenZ had it, he felt like terrible for a good couple of weeks or so, like at least 1 week or so. He had to take some time off matches. Now, whether the OpTic guys feel the same or whether they feel okay, that remains to be seen, right? Because obviously some people don't really seem to get affected much. Some people certainly do. But yeah, 3 of the OpTic guys potentially having caught the virus. That's not ideal for the OpTic camp right now, especially because they've got a grueling best of 5 series to play, best of 5 up against xSet later on today. So this could be a pretty big deal for them, obviously, because they're trying to, if they win this series, they qualify all the way to Masters yet again to try and defend their crown. I really want to see them qualify, because I would love to have, like, potentially an OpTic versus Fnatic or something final at the Masters. I'm sure that would be absolutely phenomenal if that does happen. Like, because right now Fnatic and OpTic probably looking like the 2 strongest teams in world Valorant, and yeah, we certainly hope they can qualify. They could probably qualify regardless. Like, xSet love losing a series like this to come top 4, even though they're actually guaranteed top 3 this time. So maybe now xSet have broken the top 3 curse or the top 4 curse, they're just going to win the entire thing. But whatever the situation, obviously OpTic now had more of a disadvantage than they would have been otherwise. I'd have said they were kind of clear favourites for this series, but now, like, even Chet saying, the coach, my money is an xSet, right? So either he's just saying this to say this, or he's kind of saying that actually, like, you know, his team is feeling not particularly great, right? To the point where he's thinking that xSet might actually be favoured in the series. Probably he's just saying it, but I mean, yeah, still, you can't rule it out. So tough scenes for OpTic. We'll see how that goes later on today. And just to mention, right, this series is a best of 5. This is a qualification series for Masters, best of 5 maps. Like, they're going to play an awful lot of maps, of course, in this series, xSet versus OpTic in just a few hours' time. So not a best of 3, not kind of a simple series. This could last for like 5 hours, right? That's not an entirely unrealistic possibility. So we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, as Marta says, FaZe is ready for Copenhagen, right? Because they, of course, play NRG. NRG had to go home from the bootcamp. They're going to play from their kind of home apartments, which might not put them in the best position themselves. And FaZe are obviously going to use that as an awful lot of confidence in their tonight's game up against NRG. So we'll see how that one goes. Like, yeah, big couple of series here later on today to determine which, well, 2 teams potentially might well get through to Masters again. And we'll look at some of the other regions here in a second as well. Now, Sentinels confirmed a couple of days ago they will be doing a boot camp that will start next month, right? And ShahZaM said on stream that he's been trying to make this happen for quite some time. Hasn't happened yet. All the guys guys are going to be there, like practicing with the team, trying to improve, trying to get better. Because we've seen really what's happened with teams, the likes of 100 Thieves, for example, when, okay, they get some good coaching staff in, coaches, kind of, well, general managers, they bring in a team of relative young players, and then they mold them into an absolute force, right? And 100 Thieves, of course, only top 6 in this tournament, but arguably could have gone further, have looked much better lately than I think a lot of people expected them to look. And, when teams are going to do everything right outside of the game, then things in the game are probably going to work out to the betterment of the teams. The Sentinels are saying, okay, we're going to do exactly that. The bootcamp is going to get up and running ahead of the last chance qualifier, and that's not where they're leaving it, right? Of course, they've got Raucus as their coach, but they're looking for 2 strategic analyst positions for the Valorant team. You've all got opinions. Now let's see if you can get past coach, right? So 2 strategic analysts for the Valorant team. Kind of incredible stuff. Like I usually thought you'd just hire one of these, but yeah, obviously if you guys want to apply, this is the email to send your application to. And even as dapr says, we need your Reddit account in your applications, as these will go to the top of the list, right? So I mean, look, let's see how it goes. I thought it was pretty cool for Sentinels that maybe Raucus thinks, okay, I'm pretty sure ShahZaM said even before maybe it was Champions last year that Raucus was doing a good job giving them some new ideas, but it was also like a matter of Raucus kind of, well, managing the team, right? So like, of course, as a coach, you've got to think about the personalities and any conflicts and keeping the head in the game, and it's really difficult to do all of that stuff and tracking stats and doing all the other things, coming up with ideas and strats and stuff that the coach also has to do. So having all of those elements on one man's plate in Raucus is very challenging. That's why most teams have more than one kind of figure behind the scenes. They kind of want to bring on a couple of analysts along those lines. Now, TenZ actually had some comments from his perspective on what his plan is at the bootcamp, right? Effectively saying that, like, look, I'm going to go to this bootcamp, we're going to play an awful lot of scrims every single day, but also he's just going to grind at Valorant 24/7. He reckons that briefly when he was in Texas before, he played like 49 ranked games within just 3 days, despite the fact that he was also scrimming alongside it. So he says, look, we're going to go to the bootcamp, we're going to take it 100% serious, play an awful lot of Valorant, and that's going to be the key to having success going into the LCQ later this year.
Our bootcamp, at bootcamp, I'm going to be just spending my entire time there. I'm just going to be playing like 24/7 probably. Kind of like what I did when I went to Texas for 3 days or 4 days, and I played 49 ranked games plus scrims. So I'll probably do something similar to that.
So, of course, questions do very much remain on that side of things, like how good a Sentinel's going to be. But, like, if they do bring in a couple of additional analysts, right, and they've got a good boot camp going on into the last chance qualifier, like, look, they've still got an awful lot of talent on their team. It just hasn't been unlocked, seemingly, in quite some time. But, whether they can turn a corner on that front remains to be seen as well. But every team's going to be going super hard at the LCQ. I still doubt that Sentinels are going to do it, but hopefully they can put up some sort of a fight, right? Because the winner of the LCQ goes to Masters or goes to Champions, of course, alongside the top 2 seeds from North America, of which one is certainly going to be OpTic Gaming, of course, we've already known. But yeah, Sentinels have a chance. It just seems rather unlikely. Let's talk then about what's been going on in these other regions, because this I thought was kind of incredible. This is, I think, the first ever, maybe it's the first ever in the VCT Neon Ultimate Ace. Like, honestly, Forsaken man, just that since Jed has kind of been nerfed a little bit, just using the Neon just seems to fit him so well. I mean, look at this ace he gets. The 4th kill especially was absolutely disgusting, to be honest. And then he finishes off the job as well with the final one. But yeah, Neon's Ultimate, I know people have talked about Neon's Ultimate being like, okay, should it be gone, or like should it be as it currently is? Because it is just, obviously it's really cheesy, it looks ridiculous, but like apparently it is kind of viable, and we've seen Neon be used more and more lately to seemingly great effect, right? And we've seen babybay, of course, use to great success on, of course, the FaZe side, and now Pira. I mean, look, you're going to expect PaperX to use an agent like Neon to good effect. If you want to see what innovative ideas, like PaperX is pretty much the team to go for, right? But I mean, look at him go right here, gets 1, gets 2, the chamber just misses because he slides around the corner, and then just snaps on Lenny as well for the 4th, and that's the bleed guys on the other side of things that PaperX, at this point down 1-0 in the series, went on to win this one, and it will take their advantage to a situation where they need to win one more series if they want to advance to Masters yet again. PaperX, the team they will play there is going to be Team Secret. They took down Xerxia in the very first round here, like as they said, incredible series. That's why I love competing here, says Dubset, right? It's a cool result for them. That now leaves the bracket looking like this. So pretty much everything is going on in all the regions this weekend. Some matches are today, some matches begin again tomorrow effectively, but yeah, this is how it goes. Xerxia are down here in the losers bracket, so they've got to make a massive run if they want to make the comeback here. But only 2 teams from this Asia Pacific qualifier get all the way through, of course, to Masters Copenhagen, which begins in, I think, 16 days time. It's not far at all really away that we are from Copenhagen, and we still don't know what's going to happen with the crowd. So I mean, I'm guessing like the start of the tournament is going to have no crowd, and maybe then for like the playoffs of the tournament right at the end, like the final 4 or something, I don't know, like then the crowd's going to be there. That at least is kind of my guess. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Team Secret won against against Xerxes, they then beat their next round matchup again. Paper came from 1-0 down against Bleed to go 2-1 up against them, and now they face Team Secret. The winner of this series goes to the grand finals, and the winner of this series goes to Masters Copenhagen. But of course, only one other team can do it. You'd imagine Xerxes make a run here, but Bleed could also make a run. There's some great teams in this region, but I think I would just about favor Paper and Team Secret to make it through regardless of whoever drops down here to the losers bracket once again. The other region that's happening today is the Japanese region. As I say, like Latin America, there's Brazil as well that are in action, but I just thought I'd show a couple of these regions because this is a pretty big one as far as I'm concerned. Northeptian plays Zeta Division. If Zeta, basically whoever wins this tourney goes through from the Japanese side. Zeta made it before, but they've got Northeptian to come up against. They've potentially got Crazy Raccoon to come up against. It is not going to be a walk in the park by any means. This then is the North American side. Exeter, of course, took down 100 Thieves last time out, and then Exet play OpTic Gaming. This is a best of 5 matchup. I'm pretty sure I'm guessing all the qualification games are best of 5s. I'm not sure if the lower finals are best of 5, but anyway, NRG play FaZe Clan. Both of these series incredibly important. I feel like I'm going to take OpTic anyway to take the next set. I don't know how much kind of testing positive is going to affect these guys, but I still feel like over a best of 5, like it's so map pool dependent. OpTic's map pool is so deep and so varied. Like I'm on, maps like Fracture are going to get in there, and OpTic is so good on that one. So look, I just know the last time these guys played a best of 5 in a grand finals, obviously I'm pretty sure they lost the best of 5 against the Guard last time out online, but when they played Loud, they 3-0'd them pretty comfortably, right? So I feel like OpTic are going to get through this. 3-1 maybe sounds about right, and if Exeter do drop down, I think they're correcting crazy exciting lower final between NRG and FaZe, of course, in lower round 3. I don't know who to take to win this. I think I want to favor FaZe. Like NRG kind of playing for their own apartments now. FaZe are coming through, they're looking really hot. Dicey babybay been on fire. Like look, can they continue that form forever? It seems unlikely, but I feel like the FaZe story here is so much fun that I'm just going to keep supporting them, right? And babybay on the neon will always be a good time to watch. And just to talk Europe as well real quick, because today 2 massive games over there. FPX versus M3 champions. I kind of want to favor FPX, but I think it's really tough to call how this is going to go. This really is the crucial series because Guild Fnatic, who really cares who wins that because these teams are already qualified. But the winner of this one goes to Masters and the loser goes straight home, which might be M3C. We'll see how it goes. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us your YouTube god, this is a good video, and as like you should see it as well, and I'll grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.